Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Quick Reviews. So, before we get to this nice little stack of books that I got here, and I'm actually missing a couple which aren't part of my regular pool, but at least one isn't part of my regular pool, and another one I wanted to check out, which is Red Lanterns. I wanted to check that book out because of the whole because of Supergirl, basically, which, I didn't want to feel obligated to pick up that issue, but a lot of the whole, adjustment process for Supergirl as a Red Lantern does take place in that book, and I would have rather preferred to see that happening in in her own book, but it is what it is, and it, it involves the Red Lanterns a lot more than yeah. Well, so I really want to check that out, so I'll be picking that book up next week. I'll be picking up Dark Savage, which is the book that I'm regularly picking up now, but it's not part of my regular pull list. As well as Ghost, which I'll probably be adding that book as well. As for Dark Savage, I don't know, it's a 399 book, and couldn't afford it, so anyways, I'm rambling here. um an update. So March is ending. That means that next month it will be my 1 year anniversary as part of the comic book community. And I mentioned it before that I actually wanted to do a contest. Unlike most people on YouTube, I don't have the number of subscribers to do a subscriber contest, but 1 year uh, is quite a milestone, I guess. And I'm not doing this for the subscriptions anyways. But I wanted to do a contest to give something back to the community. I've met a lot of great people here, and I wanted to give something back. And basically I just wanted to sort of share some of my favorite stories that I've read, and unfortunately, this whole month, uh, I've been checking out the trade section of my shop, and their whole stock is quite low. You know, I actually thought, when they had their whole, that was way back in February, their whole anniversary thing, to see if I could get some interesting trades as part of the contest. These weren't that many trades, and I'm continuing to check out and consider the sort of stuff, the find the trade that I think, oh, they're gonna like this, or this is a good book to give. I really haven't found that, but I'm actually going through my boxes, rereading some of my books and trying to find a worthwhile story and see if they've got the trade, or I'm still considering what would be a good prize to give, plus some comics from my collection as well. I'm not even sure how many winners I'm going to have, so I'm probably gonna limit it to one winner. uh, so I'm actually gonna be postponing the contest, until I find the perfect prize to give. But I still do want to have something for my anniversary. So uh, I've been thinking quite a bit about this, So the whole anniversary thing, I'm gonna split it in two parts. So the first part is going to be something that is appropriate for a 1 year anniversary, and it has been done before, uh, you know, by various other people, which is, I get to know you questionnaire, Q&A. But, I don't want to do it, like everybody else does, which is basically, you ask the questions and, I give you my answer. I thought I would do something a little bit different, a little bit more dynamic. So it's going to be a quid pro quo thing. So basically, you ask me one question, and I'll be answering those uh, in May. So I'm leaving the contest open for the whole month of April, starting now until the end of April. And like I said, it's a quid pro quo. So you have to give me your answer to that same question. So if you ask me, what my favorite movie is, you have to tell me what your favorite movie is, or whatever. So that's the whole. So it's very simple. You ask me a question, you give me your answer, your personal answer to that very same question, and so that way you get to know me when I answer my questions, and I get to know a little bit about you as well. So it's only one question per customer. Uh, so I'll answer that in May. Like I said, it's a two-part thing. So when I decide to have the contest, I will be using the your entries, your questions will be the entries for the contest. So um so, sorry about that. So quite simple. So when I decide to have the contest, I'll have a drawing. I'll have the names of everyone that asked me a question, and so so and whoever comes out, you win. So not I hope it doesn't take too long, between this part of the thing and the contest itself. So there you have it. So simple rules: 18 or older, because of the contest. So I don't want to eliminate anyone or have anyone get angry because they were eliminated because they were young or whatever. So 18 and older, and only one question, and you have to tell me uh, your answer to that same question. Simple enough. Okay, I've been talking way too much, so let's get to the books. Superman number 29, the penultimate issue of Scott Lobdell's run. For the most, I actually enjoy this issue. I enjoy the books that I read. That's why I'm reading them. So this being pretty much the penultimate issue of Scott Lobdell's run, and Doomed will be starting as well. He's basically starting to sort of tie a few loose ends that he started. So things that were set up way back in Superman Annual number 1 are being readdressed here. We get that typical, Starfire sort of starts attacking Superman, then they fight a little bit, then they're working together. But it sort of ends in a cliffhanger and I'm not even sure if it will be answered, before Scott Lobdell's run ends. Or, I actually heard or read that Lobdell is going back to the Red Hood and the Outlaws, so will it be answered there? Or, so I'm not sure how that's going to work with, his last issue, being number 30. So, but, it was fun. Uh, and, there's still a few interludes here. One with Morgan Edge and Cat Grant. You know, some sort of bail threat from Morgan Edge once he learned that they weren't selling the blog. Then we have a really creepy one with Lewis, where she basically erases her boyfriend's memory of the events that passed a few issues back, with Superman allowing the Parasite to sort of suck part of the Brainiac power from Lois. That actually kind of woke her up, but she still has to say goodbye power. So there's something weird going on with Lois, and good read. Another good read was Aquaman number 29. There's a little bit of setup for the whole guest appearance with Swamp Thing. Uh, you know, the whole subplot that sort of started to build up since Parker's first run, finally pays off here. The guy that had been looking for Aquaman and had stolen the trident last issue while Aquaman was in his high school reunion, unleashed pretty much demons. Aquaman shows up. He ends up fighting Hercules, and doesn't look so great for Aquaman. One of the things I've been liking about Jeff Parker's run, you know, is he sort of adds a little bit of humor to it. There was some references. I believe last issue, the security code for Aquaman's lighthouse was like 1941, whatever. 1941 was the year Aquaman debuted. Here, the issue opens with Aquaman shouting "outrageous," which if you've seen the Brave and the Bold Batman, the Brave and the Bold animated show, you know that version of Aquaman was always saying outrageous. So I thought it was a really nice touch. So I'm definitely enjoying Parker's run. It's a little bit lighter, I guess, than maybe what Jeff Johns was doing. He just has some really nice fun moments in it. Flash 29, a very anticlimactic ending to the Bushalato Manapul run. This issue we kind of understand that Aquaman, I mean Flash, is related to the actual ghost that's been showing up. It was, not much happened. The whole, who killed Barry's mom was never resolved. It's like, you know, all we get is, Barry's dad and the captain, are protecting somebody else. They know who killed, Nora Allen, but they're actually trying to protect the truth from being known. For Barry to know who killed his mother. So I don't know. I mean, why leave it like that? Is the next team gonna pick up on that, or it's just gonna be one of those unresolved things that often happen in comics. So yeah, I think that there were some really good moments with Batman. Actually, that when the House of Mystery kind of dropped in on them out of nowhere. I know, you know, just whatever. Teen Titans number 29. The one more issue one. This title is Bye Bye. And Lovedale is pretty much really splitting the team up. Um, we get the origin for Solstice. We learn how she got her look. This sort of uh, darkened skin. That was I think a large bulk of the issue. The Red Robin and saying his goodbyes. Wonder Girl is pretty mad for what's been going on. We still have another issue before this run ends, and there's still a lot of questions that went unresolved, particularly with the whole Raven thing. Uh, there was some setup there, but now it's just gonna be one of those uh, you know plot points plot points that will be left unresolved. All-Star Western number 29. Wow. Okay, uh you know uh I don't know what to say. The ending to this one was like, if they're actually gonna kill a character, and I feel that uh, a lot of great story opportunities might be lost. But let's do that. So Hex and his new 21st century girlfriend Gina are back in the past. Jonah Hex actually tells Gina the story of a guy who went off, killing Indians. Um, you know, and he sort of made up a lot of bunch of a whole, sort of sentimental story. But the truth is he was just lying to his did. So Hex um, was sent to get him alive, because the Indians themselves wanted to have their justice on this guy. Um, so this guy wasn't alone. His son was there. They got him cornered. They were about to execute him. Jonah. They wanted some cigarettes and tobacco. Gave him some of that stuff that makes them see some funny stuff, some funny tobacco, you will. So they kind of get drugged. The Indians show up and to and kill that guy and his son to a bloody death. Uh, the next day they're walking throughout the desert looking you know for a for the next stunt, to get some water. Gina herself got shot due to the events that started at the end of the last issue. So they actually find a hut, from with the Indian woman and her child, and then apparently Gina dies. She drinks some water, I believe, and then she just falls to her death. So if she's dead, I'm actually liking her a lot, and there's a lot of potential, story potential that if it's true that she's dead, a lot of story potential is wasted because we kind of seen how hacks in our modern times is trying to sort of adjust to all the weirdness that at least all the weirdness, all the things that are weird to him, you know uh, of our life in the future. I think it would be great to see her adjusting to life in the old west. And if she's there like just like that, just to run to other things, made me kind of mad. So good. So as always, a good read. Always something unexpected happens. Finally, Rachel rating number 24. So this is the first issue that's on my regular pull list. Um, I missed like maybe 98% of the story. Uh, but it's a really good book, because it's a nice. I've thought about this, about trying to review this book, which is hard because in it's one of those rare instances where both the art and the story merge. The writing and the art merge so well because unlike a lot of writer artists that I've come across, it's easy to split the story, the written part, the plot from the art. But I've come across, things like what Terry Moore does, that some of his issues might seem light on words, but the art itself tells the whole story. Um, so I really like this issue, and with the so this issue actually ends this whole arc that he started since issue number one. So next issue starts a new arc, but I actually didn't want to read this issue until I got like issues 22 and 23, um, sort of to get a clearer idea of what happened before, because he doesn't even do the previously thing that some other books do. Uh, but still I enjoyed it. So yeah, those are the books that I picked up this week. So maybe put a few more next in the next week reviews, because I'll be catching up on a couple of books. The Lanterns, Doc Savage. I might actually even pick up the first issue of Aquaman and the others. And I feel like I have to pick up that book because if you've seen my other videos when the others showed up, uh, you know, I just thought they had a really great story there, and they should be given their own book. So so sorry. So I really feel like I have to check it out to see what Dan Jurgens is going to do. I hope that um, John Ostrander would actually write that book, because after Jeff Johns introduced the characters, a lot of the groundwork was laid by John Ostrander in those two issues that he did, which one of them uh, of course was the first animal, and the other one was around before the Throne of Atlantis crossover. Um, so with the annual, actually, Ostrander kind of set a few things in motion. So I'm really curious to see what Dan Jurgens is going to do with what's been laid out, or if it's gonna be completely ignored. So yeah, a lot of good books coming out, and like I said, a lot of good books. Not a lot of money to go around. I mean, if I could, I buy every book that's in my shop, because there are some good books, there are some bad books, whatever. But a lot of good stuff. You know. Anyways, I'm rambling. So remember, before I close, from the moment you see this video until the end of April, send me your questions. One question, 18 or older, and you have to give me your answer to your question as well. So until next time, keep smiling.